Hello everyone, and welcome back to another one of my Addison's videos for my web series here. Excuse me if my camera doesn't look right or if it looks like it's pointed up higher. This camera stand is being very stupid. This video is what health problems can accompany Addison's disease. There are many things that can accompany the disease, but one thing you do need to know is with Addison's disease, your body will mock a lot of health problems that you will never truly be diagnosed with. And that can be very much health, because things like thyroid and other things, you will have the symptoms, but you may never need the medication for the problems because you don't truly have them, but you will have the symptoms and the issues like you do. It really sucks. So you can have a lot of mocking health conditions without having anything. But I will tell you, first off, the thing that you need to know is it's your endocrine system that is messed up. And with your endocrine system being messed up, it makes it hard for your body to handle high adrenaline issues that are needed. Your body has a hard time making the adrenaline needed for the flight or flight thing, where you have that flight or flight that comes into it. Your body has a harder time dealing with issues and problems like that, like when you get in fights or something happens or you get in a car accident. Anytime that fight or flight feeling is used or your adrenaline is used in a higher manner, like running or doing high impact activities, it can definitely be affected, and it will cause you to be a little bit more sick. And it doesn't matter if it's emotional, physical, stress, something somebody's doing to you, anything like that. That's one thing you do need to know, that your endocrine system is messed up and your body doesn't produce the adrenaline that you necessarily need. I'm getting tripped up. First off, pituitary. Pituitary gland is located right here. It's very itty-bitty. The only way for them to see it is for you to do an MRI. One thing you do have to look out for is the possibility of a pituitary tumor, which can turn cancerous, but that's such a low risk. Don't let that scare you. That's such a low risk. But pituitary problems can happen, and something you need to look for with pituitary problems is, I'm just going to say the woman's side effects. Men, you will have to look up your own, because I didn't look up the men's at all, but I can tell you it's basically the function of your body hormone-wise. Like women, if their pituitary is messing up, it can cause their breasts to either become enlarged or they will become smaller. It can cause you to produce milk. It can cause you to have no sex drive at all, or crazy high sex drive. It basically puts you where your hormones are either through the roof or on the floor. You know, you either, like I said, the breasts become bigger, they become smaller. It's basically hot or cold if your pituitary messes up. Or, one thing that I had was a blinding migraine, and I lost vision in this eye. From here out, I couldn't see. It was completely white, and then I had the most horrible migraine of my life. And we didn't think much of it. I was scared as hell when it happened, but sometimes, you know, you don't want to go to the hospital. You're like, I don't want to go to the hospital. But the doctor did tell me that the next time if I have anything like that happen, I have to go and have an MRI done, because I could have a pituitary tumor, and when you have those, they can press on the optical nerve in your eye and can cause you to become permanently blind. So it's definitely something to be aware of. So if you think you may be having pituitary issues, definitely talk to your endocrinologist about it. And even my gynecologist was kind of a little bit asking me some pituitary style questions, because she knows I have Addison's disease and it's all based in adrenal and hormonal, and she kind of just to make sure if everything's working correctly and nothing's being, you know, off kilter. Diabetes, high or low blood sugar. I have the low end, which is hypoglycemia. I have to take care of myself because my blood sugar runs low all the time. So I have to be sure to just make sure I eat correctly, get protein in, such and such. Thyroid problems. I got thyroid symptoms to boot, and if you notice, I trip up on some words throughout this series, and it's just because it's not because I'm trying to rush or that I'm flustered or nervous. that's part of thyroid symptoms. Hyper or hypothyroid. Either one, that's part of the symptoms. Keeping your body temperatures getting messed up is part of it too. And I went to the doctor and they did the test, and I have what's called Hashimoto's, which is basically the beginning of the thyroid problem, but I'm not being medicated right now because it's kind of my body playing that game of you don't have it but you feel like you have it, and it really sucks. Cushing's. Cushing is when you are over-medicated, and it's basically you get really swollen and puffy. Now, when you go to the endocrinologist, he'll probably press on your legs to check for if you're retaining water in your legs at all. For the Cushing's, another way to tell if you have Cushing's is in this area, you'll become very, very puffy. You will just get Cushing's is literally like you're turning into a cushion. You're getting pillowy, you're getting puffy, you're getting very big, and it's very uncomfortable. And it's very, very noticeable too. Even if you are overweight, when you get Cushing's, you can tell because you start becoming puffy in your face. So, and Cushing's is completely reversible by just lowering your medication. Because I had Cushing's a couple times throughout my 10 years of Addison's. And it's as easy as just lowering your medication, or possibly he might tell you if you're retaining water at all to maybe lower your salt. Who knows? Well, you can get to that. Striation marks. Now, I've made mention of this throughout my videos, and I've kept saying I'll tell you more, I'll tell you more, I'll tell you more. Striation marks are what looks like stretch marks, but they are not. You can get them anywhere on your body. And you can still see them. You're not going to be able to see it on camera. Not even going to attempt to show you. But you know how when you get stretch marks and they fade away and then you have that look of stretch mark on your skin? That's basically what the striation marks will do. They're not stretch marks, but they will fade like stretch marks, but you will see them. I got them all over my body. I got them on my stomach, and women usually do not get stretch marks on their stomach unless if they've been pregnant, and I've never been pregnant in my life, never had a pregnancy scare even, but I have stretch marks all on my stomach. I got them all up in here, all down my sides, and on my back. I got them on the backs of my legs, on my thighs, and they hurt when they come in. They hurt. And striation marks are basically because of rapid weight gain. And it can kind of be because you're a bit over-medicated also. But, so definitely they will be noticeable though. You can talk to your doctor about them and he can see what can be done about it. They hurt. For me, the striation marks hurt when they came in. They felt like little cuts. Like I could just feel them when they came in. It just felt like somebody just, they hurt. And for the longest time, I was so sensitive on my back and shoulders. Like if you just want to touch me like that, I'd be like, ugh, because it hurt. It makes you sore in those areas. They're sore a little bit to the touch. They hurt coming in, but once you can get your medications leveled to try to help them possibly, or once they just fade away, you're not as sensitive anymore. Like I can touch my shoulders and back and they're nowhere near as sensitive. So the striation marks really do suck. So there is a couple more things to look out for. Osteoporosis, because the steroids will eat away at your bones. So definitely I'd say depending on your age, if you're older and you get Addison's disease like in your 30s and 40s, I think at the 5-year marker you should go ahead and order a DEXA scan. Very simple, non-invasive procedure, very quick, doesn't take long. If you're younger, I would say probably about the 8-9-year marker, go ahead and get a DEXA scan. And if it shows up good, I'd say still do one in another 5 years. I pretty much am just sitting around waiting for when the hospital, the doctor says, oh, time for a checkup, DEXA scan. I don't really want to know. I got it at 20. I don't want to know how bad it's developing. You can't, with Addison's disease, the problem is you can't take anything for the osteoporosis because it'll make you too sick, or if you have to take it orally, the steroids will just cancel it out. The best way to do is to get calcium in by food. You can take vitamin D3 and Bioactive to help, but a lot of those, like hip shots for the osteoporosis, make you very, very sick, and the doctors won't advise that you take them. You also have to watch out after a while for low potassium. To tell if you have low potassium, there's some common symptoms that come along with it, but I think the simplest way is just tell your doctor or just bring it up to your doctor after you've had Addison's disease for about 5 or 6 years. It's a simple electrolyte panel that's done through your lab work, and it'll show if your potassium is low or not, or they can do a specific lab test for potassium. And if you have low potassium, they can lower your medication to try to raise it, but I'm in a loophole right now where my medication can't be lowered anymore without me having really low blood pressure, possibly dying in my sleep. But I have low potassium, which can give you heart failure any moment. So either way, it kind of sucks. And you can't take any potassium supplements orally because the steroids will just cancel it out. But so get potassium-rich food in, like smoothies. That's what I'm doing, making a lot of banana, strawberry style smoothies to help increase it. And pretty much that's a lot of the things you need to watch out for that can accompany Addison's disease. Those are the most common problems that can. There's probably other things that you may have genetically that you could possibly get with your Addison's disease just because it is a genetic issue, like if you have heart problems in your family or if you have blood clot issues. Certain things like that can present themselves because they are hereditary and in your genes, but these are the most common things that will accompany Addison's disease. And if you question any of the truth to this, just talk to your doctor. An endocrinologist does deal with, does an endocrinologist? Yeah, an endocrinologist I think deals with osteoporosis as well as diabetes and thyroid problems, so they'll definitely be able to tell you if there is truth to the matter of it, that it will possibly accompany it. Like I said, it will mock it, but you may never truly fully get it. So I hope this helps you and gives you a little bit of a heads up of a few things that can accompany it to watch out for, and thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.